Hello dear students, greetings to all. In the previous class we have seen notice and today we are going to deal with the email. Dear students, for the council ICC board examination, both these questions are coming together and these questions are interlinked also. That means when we write the email, we are taking the details from the notice which we have written. That means we have written a creative title, we have written the date, time, place, and all these informations are used in the mail also. We have to write all these informations in the mail also. So let us begin with the mark division. When we look at the mark division, half mark is given to the two address. First of all, we have to write an email ID and it should be a perfect email ID. The main mistake that the children make here is that they begin the email ID with www. That is not an email ID. That is a website ID. So when you write the email ID, you have to write it very clearly. The important things that you have to keep in mind is that first of all the letters must be individual letters. You have to don't write cursive writing. Secondly, all the letters must be in small letter. All the letters must be in small letters. And at the end, it must be at the gmail.com or at the gmail.org or something like that. It must be there, or at yahoo.com. Anything it can be. So you must write clearly the email ID. It must be small letter and it must be individual letters. Don't write cursive writing. And at the end, there must be at the rate gmail.com or at the rate yahoo.com or at the rate rocketmail.com or anything. It can be. The easiest one can be at the rate gmail.com. The next thing about the email ID is that when you write the email ID, the email will be always a formal one. So you must mention the designation. Suppose write an email to a principal, then you have to write principal at St. Anthony School at the rate gmail.com. Principal St. Anthony School at the rate gmail.com. That can be a plausible email ID. Don't write your email ID. You must write the email ID of the person to whom we are writing. Mostly it will be a formal letter, so you have to write the designation. For example, if you're writing an email to the manager of a supermarket, then you must write manager Reliance Supermarket at the rate gmail.com. And there shall not be any space between manager Reliance Supermarket between the words. It must be together. There is no gap between the email ID. Second thing is the subject. It must be very brief and it must be appropriate to the given topic. Based on the question, we must write a very brief subject. Don't write a long sentence. It must be very brief and short. And the next one is the salutation. When you write the salutation must be the same as we have studied for the formal letter. It can be dear sir or dear madam. Don't write dear ma'am. Don't write the short form of a madam. It can be dear sir, dear madam. As it is a formal letter, the best thing is either to write dear sir or to write dear madam. Or even if you do not know the person, then you can write either dear sir / madam. That's also possible. That is also acceptable. Then you have to put a comma. And the next thing is the opening sentence. And for this salutation, you will have a half mark. For the subject, also half mark. And for the to address, also half mark. Next one is the opening sentence. When you write the email, the opening sentence must be in a separate paragraph or a separate line. And what we write here is that you can write the program. What are you going to conduct? Which program are you going to conduct? For example, St. Anthony School is going to organize a fete for the victims of flood. Something like that. You can very briefly write the introduction. No need to write that I am such and such person coming from this and this. Those kind of things are not at all needed. Directly we can start writing the topic. First of all, you write what program is going to organize, or as part of the annual function, St. Anthony School is going to organize a fete or something like that. You can write the opening sentence. And the next one is the body of the letter. And for the body of the letter or body of email, you will have 2 marks. And these 2 marks is divided into different points, and these points we are writing from the notice. We have mentioned the date, we have mentioned the smaller location and bigger location, we have mentioned the participations, and we have written a creative title. So dear students, when you write the body of email, you have to mention the creative title that we have written, first of all. Secondly, you have to write the event, and next we have to write the date, and the next we have to write the smaller location and bigger location, and that paragraph will be completed with that. So once again, we have to write the title of the notice which we have written, and the next one is we have to write the event, and then we have to write the date, and then we have to write the time, and these things can be mentioned as a sentence and in a paragraph. That is the next paragraph. And the final paragraph is the closing sentence. Closing sentence should be written in a separate paragraph or separate line. It can be, we look forward for a favorable response, or we request you to send a team of 3 teachers from your school to judge the talent search. Everybody's got talent. Anticipating a positive response. Yours faithfully, something like that, continuation of the email. And another example for closing sentence is, we look forward to seeing you at Berkeley High School. So it can be many, there are many examples that you can find from the your Total English textbook. You will get many examples from there. And after the closing sentence, you have to write the subscription. Subscriptions should be the same as we have studied for the formal letter. Thanking you, comma, the thanking you T must be capital, U must be small letter, comma, yours faithfully. Yours faithfully, Y must be capital letter. Make sure that the tail of Y shall not go to the down line, below the line. It should be above the line. So yours faithfully, F must be small letter, then after faithfully, comma. Then the full name. Don't write a single name, you have to write the full name. Your name, first name, and the initial, the second name. And for the closing sentence, you will have half mark, and for the subscription, half mark. So altogether, you will get 5 marks. So dear students, the 5 marks of email also can be easily acquired, and you can easily get all these 5 marks. So once again, I will brief the mark division. For the 2 address, you will have half mark. For the subject, half mark. Salutation, half mark. Opening sentence, half mark. Body, 2 marks. Closing sentence, half mark. And subscription, half mark. So dear students, practice it very well and you can score it easily.